In September, I had the chance to visit some Ignitis power generation sites as part of their Investor Day event. Yes, full disclosure, I have a few shares in the company, although this isn't a sponsored video. Instead, I just find energy and power generation quite fascinating, and it's even better if it's renewable energy. So for today's video, I wanted to take a look at Lithuania's National Energy Independence Strategy, which it recently updated. The update, which was officially adopted in July 2024, aims to make Lithuania a fully energy independent country by 2050 that produces energy for its own needs and even exports it. The topic of energy and energy independence has been an important one for Lithuania. Older Lithuanians will remember how the Soviets punished Lithuania for its declaration of independence from the USSR through an economic blockade. This blockade included cutting Lithuania off from electricity, which had a devastating impact on the economy and on the lives of Lithuanians all over the country.
We were challenged in the beginning of 90s. Maybe you do not remember, but I do. There were empty streets because there was no gas, no cars. It was winter time, I remember, and cold in the flats. It was kind of lesson to us because you would like to be independent, so okay, you can be independent.
Lithuania has been working to become more energy independent ever since. The shutdown of Ignalina nuclear power plant didn't really help this goal, but this was one requirement for entry into the European Union. But it was in May 2022 that Lithuania declared itself fully cut off from Russian energy. To replace the Russian natural gas, Lithuania imported it from other countries by ship and channeled it through the port of Klaipėda. Lithuania has electricity and gas connections with its allied neighbors, Poland and Latvia as well. But it's clear that the ultimate goal for Lithuania is to become fully independent for its energy needs and not even depending on friendly neighbors. And so by 2050, Lithuania will not only be fully self-sufficient in electricity, but it will also export it to other countries. The country's Minister of Energy stated, "We are already laying the foundations for a high value-added energy industry and for the production of hydrogen derivatives such as green synthetic fuels, methanol, ammonia, synthetic methane, and others. Competitive conditions will be created for the development of new production and storage capacities for electricity and other energy resources with a view to maximize their use in Lithuania." Reading off the official government statement, the strategy has four main objectives. Number 1, to ensure a secure and reliable supply of energy to all consumers. 2, to achieve 100% climate neutral energy for Lithuania and the region. 3, to transition to an electricity economy and develop a high value-added energy industry. And 4, to ensure the accessibility of energy resources for consumers. The National Energy Independence Strategy aims to replace fossil fuels by climate-neutral energy sources, which will change the whole energy chain from production to transmission and consumption. If going by 2022 and 2023 data from the International Energy Agency, it looks like Lithuania has a long way to go before it can reach its 2050 goal of fully producing its own energy. We can see the country used to be a net exporter of electricity, but after it shut down Ignalina nuclear power plant, it became a net importer, relying on sources of energy from other countries. At least 2023 had less electricity imported than the year before, so that's a step in the right direction, I guess. Now, when it comes to domestic supply, which is electricity generated within Lithuania, we can see that hydro and wind are already producing significant proportions of electricity, which is great in terms of sustainability and self-sufficiency. But as we saw with the electricity import situation, it's clearly not enough to meet the demands of Lithuanian industries, businesses, and residents. Now, energy and electricity are similar, but not the same. And if we're looking at energy supply, then Lithuania will definitely need these next 25 years to become energy independent, since oil and gas are such large portions of supply. I believe that a few facilities across Lithuania burn waste and fossil fuels to heat water and heat some homes and apartments. For example, the Vilnius Combined Heat and Power Plant produces both power and heat. This plant uses two types of fuel: non-hazardous, non-recyclable municipal waste, which is left after sorting, and biofuel. This waste-to-energy, or WTE, unit has one boiler, and the biomass unit has two boilers. And so I suppose the heat part of the power plant wouldn't count as electricity generation either.
Think about a car engine. It gets very hot when it's powering a car. The same thing happens at the power plant when it's creating energy. But unlike a car engine, the J920 Flextra is able to capture its own heat and use it to warm our homes. This is called combined heat and power. and it ensures that almost no energy goes to waste.
I assume that energy consumption includes energy for transportation, and, well, if you look at the cars and trucks on Lithuania's roads, there aren't too many EVs, or electric vehicles, compared to conventional fossil fuel burning cars and trucks. Looking at the International Energy Agency's information, transportation only accounted for 0.9% of Lithuania's electricity consumption. I suppose this includes the Vilnius and Kaunas trolleybus systems, but as you can see, it's not very much. I know a lot has changed over the last 3 years, but still, you get the general idea. So, September was quite an interesting month for me as I learned more about energy generation and storage in Lithuania. As I mentioned, I participated in some Ignitis tours. One took people to the Koronis pumped storage hydroelectric power plant, and then another one, the next day, took people to a combination wind-solar farm just outside of Tauragė. It was neat to see wind turbines up close and get a better idea of how they work. This site has solar panels mixed in between the wind turbines. The one guy from Ignitis said that they decided to take the risk and put solar panels fairly close to the turbines, despite the possibility of chunks of ice potentially flying off the blades and smashing panels. It really would be a calculated risk. You could decrease the risk of damage by keeping solar panels further away and then keeping that land empty, or you can make the most of the land and generate solar all year long with the possibility of some panels being damaged. The guy said that this past winter, only 4 panels were damaged. When you consider that this power plant in Elektrėnai can produce 1055 megawatts of electricity by burning heavy oil, gas, and biofuel, well, then the 10 megawatts produced by the wind farm in Tauragė isn't so impressive. And of course, it's only happening when the wind is blowing, which obviously isn't all the time. The solar panels below have a capacity to generate 22 megawatts, but when the sun is shining.
The wind doesn't always blow, and the sun doesn't always shine.
So it's great that renewable energy is a thing in Lithuania, and looks to be a priority as well, but obviously more of these projects need to happen, along with other sustainable methods of power generation. Nonetheless, I think it's very cool that Lithuania has this national energy independence strategy. Once fully implemented and realized, the country can even earn money from neighboring countries through the sale of electricity, and it won't need to worry about fluctuating oil prices and the geopolitics of oil-producing nations. Now, it would be nice if the target was earlier, but I understand it takes a lot of time for these things to happen. But yeah, this is my very surface level examination of Lithuania's energy situation and the direction that it's headed. If you are interested in this field and or even working in it, then I would love to know what you think of Lithuania's energy and electricity situation. Leave a comment down below if you have something to say. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. If you enjoy this channel and want to support me in making more videos, please consider becoming a Patreon patron. There's a link down in the description for you to check out. Thanks so much for watching.